Hi friends, this is completely a practical based session that is meant for the MBBS undergraduate who are going to appear part 1 MBBS university examination. So during the practical examination you are going to encounter instrument and vaccines. Instrument and vaccines in which you will going to encounter one of the most important vaccines. By giving this, they will ask, what is this? This is, what is this? They ask similar type of questions in your exams, and you have to mark, what is this? This is vaccine vial containing oral polio vaccines. Why? Because this is written is oral polio vaccines, and this dropper is given along with you. Second question will be, which type of vaccine it is? It is live or killed? This is live. Then they will ask you, what is the other name? This is Sabin. They will ask you, presently used strain, because earlier it was different but now it is different. Presently used strain is bivalent strain. Bivalent strain. In bivalent strain, which strain is present? That is 1 and 3. Which component is removed? That is P2 component has been removed. Then if you are able to answer this question, then they will going to ask you further question on that. They will ask you dose of these vaccines according to national immunization schedule. They are going to ask the dose is 2 drop. 2 drop. If it is oral polio vaccine, what is the schedule? Schedule for the oral polio vaccine. First is OPV 0. What this indicates? This indicates dose at birth. Dose at birth. OPV 1, OPV 2 and OPV 3. This is given at, that is 6 week, 10 week, 14 week. So this is the schedule, and the booster dose is given at the 16 to 24 week. Now they will ask you, if some baby has missed birth dose, that is OPV 0, they have missed, up till what age you are going to give this dose? You can give this dose up to 15 days of the birth. Okay? They will ask you, if some baby has missed OPV 1, 2 or 3, up till what age you are going to give? You are going to give till 5 years of age. They will ask you this type of question because they want to know national immunization schedule from you. Second thing, as a medical officer or as a MBBS doctor, you should know if some baby has missed dose, because this vaccination is going also in the periphery. There is literacy that is not up to the mark, so someone may miss or someone may miss because of the other reasons. So up to what age this vaccine can be given? So this vaccine can be given, and booster dose, this also can be given till 5 years of age. Okay? They will ask you, is there any diluent added in this? Answer is no. There is no diluent added in this. Now they try to ask you some important question. If you able to answer this, you have mentioned the P1, P2 and P3. You have mentioned now you are using the bivalent vaccine of oral polio vaccine. Which component is not there? P2 is not there in bivalent oral polio vaccine. What are the side effect of this P2 component? This causes vaccine derived paralytic polio. This causes vaccine derived paralytic polio. The last case, they can ask you, if you able to answer this type of question, they will ask you the last case of P2 is 199. What about the P1? P1, wild variety of P1 is responsible for epidemic, and P3 is highly immunogenic, So if you know about this, you can also able to mark some important MCQ related to this. They can ask you about the P3, last case of P3 where it was seen. The last case of P3 was seen in 2012 in Nigeria. What about the last case of P1? Because you have read about the last case of P2 in 1999. In 2012, last case seen in Nigeria. P3. What about the P1? The last case of P1. You should know because it's belong to West Bengal. Which districts of West Bengal? This is Howrah district. Howrah districts of West Bengal. This is Howrah districts of West Bengal. The last case of seen, and that was on 13th January 2011. That is on 13th January 2011. If you able to give important answer, they will ask you this type of questions. Otherwise, they will not going to ask. But still, P1 is endemic in some part like Africa. Not Africa. This is Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Nigeria. P1 is still endemic. So this is all about P1. They will ask you, India is polio free on 27th March 2000. India is polio free on 27th March 2014, and this declaration is done by WHO. If you are able to answer up to this, they can ask you, can you tell about the pulse polio immunization programs, when they have started, and what are the important landmark about this? This program has been started in 1995, 1996, and that time they have included 0 to 3 year of age group. After that, 1906 and 17, they have included up to 5 year of age group. And in 1990 up to 2000, they have house to house they campaigning. They have started house to house campaigning about pulse polio immunization. They can ask you, what about the pulse? That means one day is selected, on that day whole India is going to do the immunization program. Okay, on the same day, like a pulse is generated in your body, they can feel it everywhere. For each case of polio, they can ask, for each case of polio, how many subclinical cases? It can be 100 to 1000 subclinical cases. For each case of polio, it can be 100 to 1000 subclinical cases. They can ask you in 2020, 2014, what are the importance? This is basically a MCQ orientation. In 2014, last case of polio was seen. Last case of polio in 2014. Withdrawal of OPV2, withdrawal of P2 component, withdrawal of P2 component from OPV. This is in 2016. I will tell you the importance of 2016 in details later on. What about 2018? Stop in 2018. Stop all OPV. In 2018, certificate of eradication, and from 2019, stop all trivalent OPV. What is the national switch day, and what are the importance of this national switch day? What are the national switch day and what are the importance of national switch day? National switch day is celebrated on April. From which April? 25th April. Which year? 2016. 25th April 2016. National Validation Day. National validation is just 2 weeks later, that is on 9th of May 2016. 9th of May. If you ask about National Switch Day, this is 25th of April 2016. But if they ask about the National Validation Day, this will be 9th May 2016. What is the importance of National Switch Day? What they are doing? And what are the importance of National Validation Day? National Validation Day means declare the country trivalent OPV free. That means there is no trivalent OPV available in the country. This is National Validation Day. National Switch Day. Switch means switching, and switching is from trivalent to bivalent. That means what will be the first thing? There is a stoppage of, stop using trivalent OPV. Stop using trivalent OPV. What are the other? Remove. If you are stopping the trivalent OPV, then there is some chances that some trivalent OPV available in your cold chain system. So remove trivalent OPV from cold chain system. If you have all removed from the cold chain system, then send all trivalent OPV for disposal. If you find out this trivalent OPV for disposal, and lastly begin the use of bivalent OPV. begin the use of bivalent OPV. So this is the switching. Switching means you are going to stop trivalent, start bivalent, but what the remaining that have been available on the cold chain system, all the trivalent should be sent for the disposal, so that all throughout, and after that you able to reach this national validation. National validation means declare the country trivalent OPV free. From the 1st March, government of India has started one initiative, or they have given one notice. What are the notice? If someone is coming from the 8 states like Afghanistan, Pakistan, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Kenya, Somalia, Sharia, and Cameroon, if they are coming to India, OPV is mandatory for the traveler if they are coming to India. Okay, what about the AFP surveillance? They can ask. What about AFP surveillance? And the AFP surveillance is done within 48 hours. Within the 48 hours of reported cases of acute flaccid paralysis without known history of trauma. Without known history of trauma. Who will do this acute flaccid paralysis surveillance? Who will do? This is done by SMO. SMO means surveillance medical officer or district immunization officer. They can ask you up to what age this is done. This is done less than 15 years of child. Less than 50 years of child having acute flaccid paralysis without known cause of trauma. Without known cause of trauma. How many samples are collected in acute flaccid paralysis surveillance? 2 samples. How many samples? 2 samples collected. They can ask you when you are going to collect these 2 samples. The first sample is collected within 48 hours. Within 48 hours. And what about the second sample? What about the second sample? When you are going to collect the second sample, the second sample must be collected. The second sample must be collected within 14 days. Within 14 days of the collection of the first sample. Within 14 days. But there must be a gap of 24 hours. There must be a gap of 24 hours between collection of first sample and the second sample. This must be maintained, a gap of 24 hours. Remember that. Don't confuse about this thing. This is 14 day. This is 14 day. And what are the limit for this AB survival? This is age. Age is less than 15 years. Age is less than 15 years. But days is within 14 days. They can ask you, if you have collected this, how will you able to know the adequacy of this sample? You have collected the adequate stool sample. How will you able to know? It should be 8 gram. How will you able to measure that? This is basically a thumb size. 8 gram or thumb size. 8 gram or thumb. This should be 80% adequate sample. And if you have collected this sample, that means you have done collection of sample in the periphery where the cases is there, then you have to send the sample from periphery to the center, that means from the research laboratory, where it will find from periphery to center, and by maintaining the cold chain, by maintaining the cold chain, that means what you are doing, you are doing just reverse the process of maintaining the cold chain for the vaccination. That means what you are doing, you are doing reverse cold chain, you are doing reverse cold chain. So in case of acute flaccid paralysis surveillance, reverse cold chain is maintained, and this cold chain is maintained. That means the temperature should be 2 to 8 degree centigrade, 2 to 8 degree centigrade. So this is some extra point about polio. They can ask you what are the route of administration of the polio, what is the route. They have shown the vaccine vial with dropper, that means route is oral, route is oral, or you know about this is 2 drop, oral 2 drop. What are the other polio vaccine you know? They can ask any other polio vaccine you know? Yes, this is IPV, this is IPV, and IPV means inactivated polio vaccine. Oral polio vaccine has a name of Sabin. What is the name of inactivated polio vaccine? This is Salk. Salk, inactivated. K means killed. K means killed. You can remember like that. Salk is inactivated. This is, if they ask it is live or kill, you can answer this. Have all the 3 components. What is the dose? Dose is very important. Why dose is very important? Because dose depend on how the route is. It is using intradermal or you are using intramuscular. If you are using intradermal, then 2 doses, and these 2 doses in fractionated 2 doses. Fractionated 2 doses means 1/5 of 0.5 ml. That means you are using 0.1 ml. You are using 0.1 ml. And when you are going to use this, oral polio is given 6 week, 10 week, 14 week. This is given on 6 week and 14 week. This is given on 6 week and 14 week. You are not going to give on 10th week. You are not going to give on 10th week. This is why you are using fractionated dose. They can ask why you are using fractionated dose, because this it required less dosage. Earlier you having oral polio vaccine, and right now you having injectable, and the availability, maybe chances that there is no availability, so you are using fractional dose to reduce the dose, because effectiveness is same, so you can use 2 doses. Most of the places this protocol is following, but some states they are following protocol of intramuscular dose, or intramuscular dose is single dose. Intramuscular dose is single dose, and when this single dose is given, this must be given, remember that this must be given after 14 week. After 14 week, this must be given after 14 week. And till what age you can give this dose? You can give this dose till 1 year. You can give this dose in 1 year. This is injectable. So they can ask where you are going to inject this injectable polio vaccine. They can definitely ask. This is injectable at upper right arm. Upper right arm. Okay. So that can be asked from you. And in this case, if you are using single dose, then the dose is 0.5 ml. But if you are fractionated dose, two doses, they can ask which is best. They can ask which is best, single dose or multiple dose. Always multiple dose is best, because better immunogenic, better seroconversions, and fractionated dose, less dose is using. So always two doses is best, and intradermal route. This is trivalent 1 to 3 component is there. Also in IPV 1 to 3 component there. On 25th April 2016, that is changed to bivalent OPV plus IPV. So this is basically what is switch. Now some typical Viva questions. Some typical Viva question that can be asked, and that they can ask about this. What is this? Also in this, what is this? They can ask. The logo is like that. What is this? This is basically VVM. VVM. What is VVM? Vaccine vial monitor. This is vaccine vial monitor. They are going to monitor. They are going to monitor. What they are going to monitor? They are going to monitor vaccine vial. What is this? This is basically a label on vaccine vial, which is heat sensitive. It is a label containing heat sensitive material. What is VVM? It is a label containing heat sensitive material. Or where it is placed? This is vaccine vial monitor. That is, it is placed on vaccine vial. You also may get short note. You can write like this. What it measure? It measure cumulative heat exposure. It measure cumulative heat exposure over time. If you are going to tell this, definitely next question will be how to use VVM. The next question will be how to use VVM, and for this you have to tell there are 4 stages. 4 stages. Up to stage 2 you can use. After that you not able to use. So they will ask you how you able to know which stage is there. You have to tell like that. I am going to see the inner circle. I am going to see the inner circle, and I am going to see about its color. Inner circle is lighter than outer circle. If yes, inner circle is lighter than the outer circle, that means you can use. Remember that you must tell about one important line, that is, if expiry date is not crossed. If expiry date is not crossed, that is more important. What is the condition of inner and outer? If expiry date has been crossed, you are not going to use that, so you must mention about that. If expiry date is not crossed and inner circle is lighter than the outer circle, that means you are going to use this. That is this thing. If inner circle and outer circle are equal in conditions, you are not going to use this. If inner circle is darker than the outer circle, that is in stage 4, you are not going to use this. That means first will be inner circle is completely lighter than the outer circle. Second stage will be inner circle will be some lighter than the outer circle. In both the stages you can use despite expiry date has not been crossed. Okay, if equal you not use. Another will be, they can give you this and they can ask you what is this. This is basically a vaccine container. This is basically a vaccine container. Use of this, they can ask and tell about that. What is the use of this? This is for carrying the vaccine, maintaining the cold chain, or carrying the vaccine. Cold chain. How they are transporting vaccine for? They are transporting vaccine for immunization sessions. And where the immunization sessions occur? In the periphery. That means they are going to maintain the cold chain. Remember that. Also, after session is over, they return back unused vaccine. To the ice line refrigerator. They are also used for this. The vaccine carriage is not like that. They are going to take the vaccine and going to the periphery, but after some vaccine remain there, that can be come back by this. Carrying a stool sample, you know where this is. This is in case of reverse cold chain and for the AFP surveillance, you know, so you can use. If you remove the upper cap, if you are going to remove this upper cap, what you able to see? That you will able to see a structure like this. What inside this? Or this inside this is basically a ice pack. They can ask you how many ice packs. There are 4 ice packs in one vaccine carrier. What is the temperature? The temperature I have already mentioned. The temperature is maintained at 2 to 8 degrees centigrade. They can ask you the temperature maintained for how long duration. This is, they can maintain temperature for 12 to 24 hours. They can maintain temperature for 12 to 24 hours. And usually 16 to 20 vaccine vial can be kept in this vaccine carrier. How many? 16 to 20. 4 pack of ice and 16 to 20 vaccine vial can be kept there. They can use what they can tell. What is this? This is basically a ice pack. And the purpose of ice pack is to maintain the cold chain. The purpose of ice pack is to maintain the cold chain. Vaccine carrier is to carry the vaccine. How this prepared? Where it is prepared? This can be prepared at deep freezer. In deep freezer, this ice pack can be And they can ask you why this hole is why this hole is there on this. Use of the hole, they can ask you what use of the hole. Use open vial, open vial placed here. Open vial can be kept, so that first thing. Second, to make a grip, to hold it, to make a grip, to hold it. So this is, they can ask you, this is not much important, but they can ask you what is the conditioning of the ice pack. What is the conditioning of the ice pack? The conditioning of ice pack means ice pack means ice pack in deep freezer. Ice pack in deep freezer at what temperature? It is present at minus 20 degrees centigrade, and this kept at room temperature, kept at room temperature, room temperature, so that temperature becomes 0 degree centigrade, so that ice pack temperature becomes 0 degree centigrade. This is basically the conditioning, and usually it will take 1 hour if you place it at 20 degree centigrade. If you usually what, if you are going to place this ice pack at 20 degree centigrade for 1 hour, it will come at 0 degree centigrade. What are the benefit of this conditioning? There must be benefit, otherwise no need of conditioning. If without conditioning, what is the condition? Ice pack having the ice, so, and after conditioning, ice pack having no ice, it having water, that is cold water. So basically what is going on, this will prevent, conditioning क्या करता है, this will prevent freezing of vaccine, this will prevent freezing of vaccine. So freeze sensitive, so freeze sensitive, so freeze sensitive vaccine can be saved, that potency can be maintained. If vaccine is not going to freeze, so freeze sensitive vaccine can be. How conditioning is done? They can ask. They can be asked in form of short question like how conditioning is done. Remember that the ice pack in deep freezer. So on the session day, take out the vaccine, and take out the ice pack, and this ice pack is laid down on the table, leaving a 5 centimeter gap, around each ice pack. Second, lay out ice pack in single row. You are not going to put one ice pack above one ice pack above. It will going to put on table on a single row, but not more than 2 row. Shake one of ice pack every few minutes. If you are going to shake this, ice begin to move inside the container. Ice begins to move inside the container, means conditioning started, and that is formation of water point outside the body of ice pack. You able to see some water point formation outside the body of ice pack. By this process you able to do conditioning of ice pack. Second question, which vaccine freeze sensitive vaccine, which is, this is hepatitis B and T series vaccine. they get damage if freeze. If freeze, they get damage. T series means DPT, TT. This comes under T series vaccines. Open vial policy. If you are going to use that vaccines, any vaccines during the vaccination program, you are going to use that vaccines. After vaccination program get over, there is chances some vaccine is left, and that is open. This is open and this is vial. What is the policy for that? Policy is that, what is the policy is that for the open vial policy? In any vial, any open vial, what is this? Any open vial returned from field of vaccination, any open vial returned from the field of vaccination has to use. When? What are the conditions? When, if any vial has come for the field of vaccination and that is open, that can be used if first usable condition. Usable condition. How you able to know there is a usable condition of the vaccine? If VBM is maintained, vaccine vial monitoring is done. If as per VBM, vaccine is in usable condition, that can be used. Second, vaccine is not frozen. You know, a vaccine get frozen, that means that has been already destroyed, so no chance of use after opening of the vaccines, because vaccine has already opened and vaccine has been freeze, so no chance. So first, BBM should be should be maintained. Second, the vaccine is not frozen. Second, the first line what I have mentioned, it must be within expiry date. If expiry date has been crossed, then no need of this. So that can be done, and that vaccine up to what days that vaccine can be used? This can be used within 4 weeks. The open vial can be used within 4 weeks. That is 28 days. That is 28 days from the date of opening. From the date of opening. That means from the date of opening within 28 days this can be used, and this is basically a open vial policy. And only condition is 3: vaccine should not get frozen, expiry date is not crossed, and BBM is in usable conditions. Vaccine, which vaccines comes under this? And these vaccines comes under, you have already mentioned, hepatitis B, pentavalent vaccine, DPT, TT, OPV and IPV. These are the vaccines which follow open vial policy. Open vial policy is maintained for these vaccines. So they can ask any questions from these, and this is not like that they are going to ask these questions. I have tried to cover each and every aspect of this, and I have maintained this in the form of even image based, in the form of Viva table, in the form of MCQ point of view. I have covered also the what are the program related to this OPV, what are the AP surveillance of which country is endemic, or for the polio which component has been removed, to the latest things, what are the national switch day, so validation day, what are the mean by switch, what are the mean by validation, everything I have already covered. So hoping this video is very helpful for you, and if you like this video, definitely you must share within your group those who are planning to appear for part 1 professional examination, or those who are planning to appear for pre-PG entrance examinations or any university examination, because I have covered each and every part. Thank you so much. If you like, you subscribe DNA Medical YouTube channel, or you can subscribe directly to Facebook, or you can enter in the group. Okay, thank you so much.